There we go. Hello. Oh, let's turn our sound off.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of a
This is our first one, so give us a second to work out some technical difficulties.
You just want to mute it?
Yeah, mute it. I don't know if it's gonna. Okay. All right. We are getting some feedback from having multiple devices. Oh, it's still.
Settings.
No. Sorry, just turn the volume down. Where's your volume button? There we go. All right. We'll give it a couple of minutes, see if we have a couple of people hop on since we just went live. So we will give it a minute or two. See, but if you are just joining us, thank you for joining. I know you're not used to seeing my face. I am Carrie's sister. Who you see her on video all the time, but you don't see me. I'm usually behind the scenes, but I am her sister and record the video content, do the editing, upload the videos, manage the YouTube channel. So I'm here to give her a hand.
I just do the taxidermy. I don't do any of the technical stuff. It's not my forte.
Just do the taxidermy.
Well, it was all your idea. This all was your idea. This was not my idea. The whole online thingy. So,
yep. So we do have a special announcement at the end. We plan on being online here for a little bit to see if we have people hop on. But we do have a special announcement at the end of our live feed for some exciting new content.
I quit.
No, stop. You better not. Go behind, Addison. Some new content that we're going to be adding to the K&C Taxidermy channel. So we will be adding that.
Again, all her idea.
I'm to blame. Addison, I told you I set Auntie's phone right there. Okay.
Because that's what we need, more work.
Yeah.
We need more stuff to do.
Well, makes it fun.
It does.
All right, so we're about 3 minutes in. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, in case you're just joining, I am Lindsay. I am Carrie's sister, younger sister.
But not favorite.
Well,
maybe. Okay. I am the middle child. Never mind. Never mind.
I am her younger sister. So I was a communications major in television broadcasting and production. So I head up the media side of the K&C Taxidermy. I guess maybe an official title would be like media director.
Sure.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put some script on the bottom that says Lindsay, media director.
We'll make you a shirt.
Yes. Yes.
We'll make it formal.
Yeah, we're getting professional. Yes. So I am usually the one that is behind the scenes doing the content. Now my husband's in the Marine Corps.
Right.
So,
I was going to say usually, but not all the time.
Yeah, not all the time. Because
right.
I do live about 8 hours away right now. Who knows where I'll be in a year or so. But as of right now, I do live about 8 hours away. So I come to Carrie's house in the summer for about 3 weeks to a month, and we exhaust ourselves recording a ton of content that I take home with me and use to put videos together throughout the year and upload. I think last summer I think we had enough videos with the Oryx.
About a year's worth of content.
Almost. Well, yeah.
Just almost.
About 8 months, maybe. Because I think the Oryx, which is what we did as our summer series last summer, took us through the end of February, beginning of March.
Yeah.
Didn't it? And so then
I had to start recording myself, which you can tell when I make when I'm recording myself and then when she's recording.
Well, I mean, it's not her fault. You know, when I'm here, I set up multiple cameras, fancy lighting, all that fun stuff.
It's really hard to
replicate,
talk,
work,
try to stop, start, camera, do all that at the same time while and then concentrate on what you're doing, and then you lose track of time, and then it's like, oh,
what was
it's
I
a
talking about?
5-minute video already. I better, because I've got to
Mhm.
send this to, I've got to be able to send it to her without having to trim it or whatever.
Right.
So,
but I mean, that's the nice thing about editing is, editing
it's a
magic
lot nicer when you're here.
makes it look but right now for our summer series, if you haven't seen our teasers that we have been posting, for our summer series this summer, like we said last summer, we did the oryx.
Yes.
This summer, it is the red stag that we are putting a bunch of footage together for, as well as
We might be squeezing in a buffalo as well.
Yes,
Just so
the bison.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing she's on camera, because I would tell you that a bison and a buffalo are two different animals.
Well, a lot of
Yeah.
people say, well, that's controversial, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's the water buffalo, technically, I guess you could say. Then there's the American bison.
Okay. Yeah. That's why she does the content and I just do the production, because no idea. Anyway, so we have the red stag coming up. That's what we have started recording. Well, let me say we tried to start recording this morning, had a flushing wheel issue
Well, that's
this morning.
life.
Yeah.
If you think taxidermy looks easy by watching our videos, it is not.
And I can tell you from watching behind the scenes
Right.
that it is not.
You have mechanical issues, mechanical failure, and apparently from doing the black bear, which is, if anybody has ever fleshed and done all that, it's a lot. So, I mean, there's a lot of fat you got to remove. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. And so it just,
Okay, hand it to me. Go ahead.
just
go.
swipe it. There's no lock on it. Just swipe it. So
she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
Open it for her. Sorry, but my teenage daughter is keeping an eye on the feed for us because we get wrapped up in talking.
And so anyways, I went to start fleshing the red stag this morning, needless to say, and apparently my fleshing wheel was out of tune. So it was not catching and fleshing like it should have. It was not getting any kind of bite. So I took it apart and cleaned it and all that kind of stuff, and had to, because the blade was sharp, but you run your finger across it and the lip of the blade, because there's a flat side to the blade and then there's a sharp side. And when you run it across it, I mean, if you run your finger across it, it was sharp, but it just wasn't, the guards had gotten off whack. So anyways, needless to say, we just, between her having a headache, or migraine, I should say, and the day just started off going to crap. So we just gave up. And we were like, we need to save our energy for tonight.
So real life happens.
Yes.
I edit a lot.
Mhm.
Well, I wouldn't say a lot. You're actually pretty good. You don't usually take
Talking?
a lot of takes. No, I'm saying,
as you can see, we don't we do quite well talking. It's not a
yeah.
not a
But
problem.
I'm saying, as far as editing, there's usually not a whole lot of edits that happen. You do pretty well, but real life does happen. So there are some instances where we go to do footage and it doesn't work out, or if something goes wrong. Carrie's usually pretty good about sharing what goes wrong so that other people can learn from it.
Well, and that's another thing with taxidermy. I mean, people have their own ways. Just because I do something a certain way and I'm sharing how I do something doesn't mean that's how you have to do it or how you should do it. Part of taxidermy is figuring it out and figuring out what works for you. A lot of the techniques and stuff, the reason why I do it the way I do it is because that's how I learned to do it when we went to taxidermy school. And I've, been contacting and stuff and like, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Or why don't you use ear liners instead of instead of doing Bondo and stuff like that. I prefer, that's what I was taught to do. That's what I feel more comfortable doing. And I just don't, and just try to learn something new at this stage of the game. And like I told you, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So,
well, and also that's why when we first started last summer, we thought it would be more helpful to do like chapters, do things in bite-sized pieces, so that, you know, somebody has a question on they may have a question about working on the ears and they don't want to watch a 2-hour video, 3-hour video of putting the whole oryx together just to watch a part on the ears. So that's, a comment that we've gotten is that it's helpful that we try to break it into chapters, I guess is the best way to put it, or sessions that are topic specific, so that people can, if you want to just look at the fleshing wheel, we have that, you're not watching a 2-hour video just to watch and get tips on a fleshing wheel.
right.
So we try to break it up in those chapters, which hopefully seems to be helpful. People seem to find helpful.
Well, and I know I learn better by watching. I actually, and by doing. I mean, that's the biggest part of taxidermy. Don't be afraid to do it. You've got to do it to learn how to. She wants to be on camera.
Yes, there's my sister, Carrie has a cockatoo, and she is breaking her neck leaning to try
to
and
see everything going on.
get over here. She's so nosy.
But I mean, you get it can be very intimidating. It can be, and I have a lot of new things that I've never. In fact, most of the things that I get in, I haven't done before. But I mean, once you have the foundation, it's basically all the same. It's either bigger or smaller. So you just got to do it. You just got to do it. And
people probably think that you've taken on a lot, just because even when you just were first just starting out, you did your own tanning from the beginning. You've done your own tanning and fleshing. You've done your own, using Bondo instead of using
my own tanning, fleshing. I do from start to finish.
Right. So, some people may say you've taken on a lot.
Well, and
doing that yourself, instead of sending out for the tanning and fleshing. So why do you think that why did you decide to take on tanning and fleshing, things like that on yourself?
Because it's all part of the process. I mean, and I don't know, I always felt weird about sending it off to somebody else, and then I get kind of anxious. That kind of gives me anxiety, because I'm like, well, what if I don't get it back? What if it gets lost? What if it gets lost in the mail? What if you kind of lose control once it's in somebody else's hands?
Well, it probably affects turnover time.
Well. Then they get put on another waiting list. If I do the method that I learned to do, turnaround time is usually within the 2-month range. So instead of them taking it to another taxidermist, who granted probably has a whole lot more work than I do. Like I'm nobody big and I'm a small shop taxidermist. I've only been doing this for 3 years now. So but where I'm at now, I can turn around and get somebody their deer or animal back in 2 months rather than 2 years. I don't put anything in the freezer unless it's deer season and I get an exotic or something different, and then I put it in the freezer because I focus on getting my deer done. But deer season starts, bow season starts in September, and I'm usually done with all my deer by. She wants to be on camera.
This is Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
Her Gotham's cockatoo. She's breaking her neck.
I know. She can't stand it. There's
What's
too much
over here?
There's too much stuff.
What's over here?
So I'm usually done with all my deer. Say I usually get anywhere from 70 to 80 deer a season to mount, and I usually have them done by May.
Well, I'm coming. We have our summer series,
right?
And so I try to tell her in advance. I think I told you around February, March, like, hey, I'm coming in June to record for a couple of weeks. So she tries to finish up her deer and just her basic work that she does. She tries to finish that up so that when I come, we can have fun with the exotics.
Right. And then I save that stuff for all the extras that aren't deer. I usually, but I do stuff in between. I do, if I have deer mounting or need to sit and tan or something like that, I'll plug in a fish here or there, or a fox or some, like a small mammal. I fit in.
And those are usually just the one videos I do, or the shorts, those.
Because they're just quick jobs, just quick little plugins.
Yep. But the Red Stag Summer Series will start in July. We are recording that content now. So our summer exotic for this summer, the Red Stag. And then, as we mentioned at the very beginning, we're also going to try to get to the bison and do that. So those videos should start. You should start seeing those on the channel around maybe the second week in July. You're going to kind of see some filler content and videos until then, because over the next 2-3 weeks, we are going to be recording all that red stag and bison
We're making
content.
the videos. We're mounting
Yep.
the red stag
Yep.
and stuff and making the videos. So
Yep.
they won't be ready till.
So we're going to be kind of having some different content, which we will talk about here in just a minute when we close, some new content that we're going to be adding. But yeah, we always look forward to coming in the summer, making the 8-hour drive and coming and spending a couple of weeks working on some really fun animals with Carrie. My teenage daughters usually come along with me because they love to spend time on Auntie's farm. What animals do you have right now? I know it's hard to keep count. I mean, I'm talking pets too. Let's start. We have Ellie, the cockatoo.
Right. And then we have 2 conures, Pickles and Clemmy. We have the 2 conures, and then that's the inside, and the 2.
You want my headband?
No, you're talking,
and I'm talking.
She wants to be part of the conversation. And then so we got the dogs and the cats and all that. But outdoor, the farm, we have chickens and all that. So and Addison has made a special friend.
Yes, one of my teenage daughters.
With our little Sarama Banty boyfriend. His name is lovingly has been dubbed Boyfriend because he is quite the boyfriend.
He's the perfect boyfriend.
He is.
And she has made such a connection with him that she has decided that he needs to be Instagram famous, or maybe he decided that he should be Instagram famous.
Well, I know on my Facebook I have been plugging in little stories here and there because everybody just loves them. But we gave her the go ahead, the green light on going ahead and making him his own page.
Yes, so if you want to follow that on Instagram, it is Banty_boyfriend, Banty boyfriend. And my daughter has started his own Instagram. And he is getting a very big head. She started a couple days ago. 2 days ago, he is very excited about his 12 followers. So he has a new home that has shown up.
He has stepped up in the world. Yeah. He has stepped. He's doing better than I am.
Yep.
He has moved up.
His own microphones are coming tomorrow. So if you are interested in following Banty Boyfriend on Instagram, she is going to be having fun with him over the coming weeks as we are recording taxidermy videos. She is going to be helping him out to become Instagram famous and feed his ego a little bit. So feel free to follow that. All right. We wanted to keep this around 20 minutes. So special announcement that we have is we are adding some exciting new content. For those who may not necessarily be interested in the taxidermy side of it, we're kind of trying to expand a little bit and add on some extra content, maybe for spouses who don't necessarily care about the taxidermy side, but their loved one is bringing home a bunch of wild game and meat. So, Carrie, what are we going to start adding?
We are doing in the kitchen with K&C. We're doing some recipes and smoking some meat and stuff like that. That's even my city family has been enjoying. So we're doing special recipes and stuff like that. with the wild game. So if you are interested in that, make sure you stay tuned. I think that'll start on Tuesday. So we will premiere those new segments on Tuesday. You don't want to miss that. Go ahead and subscribe, because we are going to start with making your own venison jerky.
Yes.
And we're going to show making it in the oven, and also using your smoker, because not everybody has a smoker. So we are going to show, Carrie's going to walk you through her favorite marinade that she uses, slicing the meat.
Well, it's a family marinade. It's Mom's.
Yeah.
That we've used for years. And so I'm sharing that with you guys. And I'm doing 2 different methods. I know not everybody has big fancy smokers and all that. So I'm showing you an oven method and a smoker method, mainly because I got a new smoker and I wanted to try it out. I hadn't made jerky in it yet, so I was excited to do this kind of experiment. So,
and we can go ahead and tell you it's delicious. We filmed that yesterday.
It was the winner.
It was the winner. It is. Are you taking a bath on camera?
Yes.
It is so good. It's delicious. So you don't want to miss that. Yes. So in the kitchen with K&C Taxidermy, those additions to the channel will start on Tuesday. I believe that's the 18th, I believe, on Tuesday. So you don't want to miss that. So now we're going to kind of every once in a while add in some recipe in the kitchen videos to kind of go along with the taxidermy stuff. And like I said, we're kind of adding that for now while we are recording the red stag and bison videos. So, guys, don't worry if, you're going to see some recipe in the kitchen posts for about 2 weeks, but don't worry, then we'll get back to the taxidermy and the animals. But we're trying to figure out something that we can kind of add in as filler while we're recording content.
Include everybody.
And try and include some more people, like we said, that may not necessarily be interested in the taxidermy side of it, but have wild game in their freezer, venison, bison, all kinds of stuff that they maybe need some ideas on how to prepare that and some good recipes to fix that. So we're going to start adding that in.
Yep. Yes.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. It was fun for me to kind of get on camera for a little bit since I'm always behind the scenes. So thanks for letting me join you.
You're welcome.
And Ellie is thankful, I think, to be a part of it too and join in.
Yeah, she wasn't having sitting on the sidelines. She wasn't doing it.
She wanted to be on screen too. All right. Well, thank you guys for jumping on and joining us. Smell-o-vision while cooking. We see you, my Outback Wilderness. Thanks for hopping on. Great show. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. My Outback Wilderness. Appreciate you jumping on and commenting. Thank you. All right.
I've seen your comments before, so thanks for participating.
Yep, we may not answer.
Makes it fun.
Yep, we may not answer right away when you comment on videos, but we do see them. We do try to.
We appreciate the interaction. It gets to know the algorithm more.
Yeah.
It helps with the algorithm.
My teenage daughter said it helps us with the algorithm more, which
more interaction pushes us
it,
towards a larger audience.
It's true. It's true. But we appreciate you guys. We appreciate your comments and your positive feedback because, like we said, we just started this last summer. So we are new to this as well. We are new to all of it and we learn as we go. So your comments are helpful, help us get better. And the encouragement's always nice as well to see some nice comments that the videos are helpful and what we're doing.
But don't be afraid to ask questions either. Because I mean, we're pretty thick-skinned, apparently.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And
you're not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah. If there's something that you want to see, please put on there. Be like, hey, it would have been nice to get a little bit more information about this or, get a little more video on this specific technique that you use. We are happy to do that. We don't know that you guys need something unless you tell us. So make sure that you get on there and let us know. We don't mind criticism.
No.
As well.
No.
Well,
like I said, everybody has different ways of doing things.
Yeah. All righty. Well, we're now switching around. Oh, Stuart. Hey. Phelps. I was like, we're getting ready. We were getting ready to hop off, but now we're seeing
not that it matters, but we got some people hopping on now, so I guess we'll stay on for a couple more minutes. Stuart, I recognize you
Yeah.
from your comments on our video, so thank you for hopping on. Stuart says, I see the oryx hanging on the shop wall. Not that it matters, but is this your red stack?
No,
Oh,
it's
the
not.
cockatoo just
Yeah,
flew
no, it's
feathers
not.
everywhere.
No, it's not. It's a customer's, and most of the exotics are this one person's in particulars. And once I get a few of them done, then I'll either take them to him or he'll pick them up, and so there's but I usually wait till I get a few done before I take them to him. So that's why it's still on the wall.
Yeah,
and,
so
and the bison is his too. So
Mhm.
probably when I get the bison red stag, then probably when those two go home, the oryx will
Yep.
too.
So the red stag, we are starting to record content now. So the red stag, we will be recording, Carrie working on that over the next couple of weeks. So if you saw our teaser, I was amazed by the size of the antlers. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. The size of the antlers. They're
Horns are
enormous.
now the bison has horns where it's on a sheath. You have to
Mhm.
remove it from the sheath. From the and that's another thing that people don't realize, that's a myth. They think they're hollow and they're not.
Yeah.
There's bone.
Oh, I've learned so
Yeah.
much from just recording content and editing the footage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the red stag, we are going to be starting also working on a bison
Mhm.
over the next couple of weeks. So you're going to see that content start coming out probably around the second, third week in July. It'll take some time, a couple of weeks,
Right.
to record
Till we
that
finish
footage,
it
and then
all
for
up
me to put it in production and edit and get it
It
nice
only
and pretty
takes
for
a
you
couple
guys.
days to actually mount it, but after editing and all that kind of stuff. So, and then we've got a few fillers in between. So,
Not near as envious now, Stuart. Well, good.
oh. No, you don't want to see. You don't want to see my trophies.
Yeah. No.
I'm too busy to get out and chase horns.
No. Because I think the guy that sends you that stuff, like he goes on trips, like really expensive trips.
Yeah. No, I don't have time for that.
Definitely
or
flattered. Definitely flattered that he trusts your work enough to send you these
that
beautiful
he brings
animals.
me all these animals to mount for him. I mean, that's huge in itself. But
yeah,
I wish.
Although I say you probably she's a hunter.
These are
you probably would think it was fun to go out and hunt.
Well,
them.
absolutely. But these are like all my bucket list animals. I don't have the time or the funds to be. Yeah, no, not right now.
Yep. All right. So you guys stay tuned. We have some exciting content coming up. We, like I said, kind of we have cockatoo feathers flying all around us now and like up our noses. So, and it doesn't help that she's literally out in the country. They're cutting hay fields. So we got hay in the air. They're rolling hay, which us city folks, myself, my daughters, we are.
And if it always looks like I came in from outside, I did.
She did. Us city folk, we aren't used to this. So it's a whole different experience when we come stay at Auntie's farm. So you
have the license for import. Oh, no. These come from a lodge.
Well, hold on. The question. So Stuart asks if you have a license for importing the exotics.
Yeah, no, they're in the United States. They're from a hunting lodge here in the United States. Now you're like the elk and the red stag, they're still under the same CWD restrictions as like your white-tailed deer and stuff like that.
Because the red stag you said is from New Zealand, but they ship the animal over to like
the live
Tennessee.
Animal. It's easier.
The live animal, like to Tennessee to the hunting lodge.
Right.
And then they hunt it stateside.
They kill it in the States here, and then it's brought to me. But you still have to follow the same like CWD regulations with your cervids or your deer in the deer family. I guess I should put it in layman's term. The animals in the deer family, because of the CWD, the chronic wasting disease restrictions. So it can only be Cape and crown only. You know,
What is that for
that-
those like people like me who don't know?
It has to be skinned out.
No,
And
what
you
is CWD?
That's what's it, chronic wasting disease.
What is that though?
It's it hasn't gotten to this area yet, but it's a neurological. I think it attacks the brain,
Oh, okay.
and it pretty much just shuts down everything, and they waste it.
So
They
it
starve
wipes
to death.
out. It
They
wipes
pretty
out.
much starve to death.
It wipes out like the
Oh
population.
yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
they are technically a herd animal. It spreads quickly.
Okay.
So that's why right now they can't cross state lines, and it's complicated, especially I live literally like 30 seconds from the Georgia border, but I'm in North Carolina. So when my Georgia guys call me and say, hey, I need to bring you a deer, and I'm like, well, you got to take it to your processor or whatever first and have them skin it out.
Well, that's the video. Didn't we do the video?
Even though
for
here
people to
the
send
deer
it?
can
Yeah.
literally walk across the state line by themselves, but it is what it is, I think I should invite.
The youth pastor is a special guest. Is that Eric?
I think you should.
Is that Eric?
It
Did Eric just hop on?
must be. There's an E.
I think you should invite the youth pastor as a special guest. Okay, we're getting special.
Give a shout out to Mount Pleasant.
We're getting a special
Which
request.
VBS is the week of what?
June 23rd, I think, to
Yeah.
the 27th,
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, to our local folks.
Anyway, yeah, and I think we did a video. Did we do a video? You had asked me specifically. You said you had guys asking like how they need to prep the deer or something to send it.
It
to
just
you.
has to remove the brains. You can't
Yeah.
have any brain matter.
But
It
we have
can't
a video. I remember
Yeah,
doing
I did
editing
do
a video.
I did do a video because
Yeah,
you have to remove the brain matter.
because the guys were like, "We want to send it to you, but we don't know how. What do we have to do?" So I remember you have a video on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
An air compressor works well. Just stick it right up in the base of the skull.
Okay, that sounds terrifying and gruesome.
Just saying. Power sprayer, air compressor.
Oh, yikes. Oh, all right. All right. Well, we've been on here about a half an hour now. So you guys think of more questions. Like I said, this is our first live Q&A. Thought we would try because I just showed up a couple days ago. But maybe if you guys find this helpful, you think it's fun, maybe we'll do some
We'll do
more
while she's here.
while I'm here.
While she's
So
here.
maybe we'll schedule another one for next week if you guys think it's fun or you think of some questions. But like
And post it.
Yeah.
Put it, either message us on Facebook or here, send some comments here on YouTube so that we can prepare and answer questions better.
yeah, let us know. If you send us some questions ahead of time, we'll get on here and answer them while we wait for people to jump on and go ahead and get those answered and out of the way in case we have some new comments and questions show up. But yeah, like I said, though, keep an eye out for our news segments that we'll be adding in the kitchen with K&C Taxidermy with some fun recipes on how to use that wild game.
Food's always fun.
Yep, because one of the things Carrie said when she started hunting and taxidermy is, she believes in using the whole animal from start to finish, not just using the meat, using everything. So we wanted to kind of start adding some content on some recipes, how to use that meat to make some delicious things. So it's not just sitting in your freezer. So we're going to start that on Tuesday.
That's the whole point.
Yep.
To eat it. We're
going to start that on Tuesday, I believe the 18th, with some venison jerky, which, like we said, we know is delicious. We did filmed that yesterday. You're going to have Eric now asking for some jerky. Oh, Stuart wants you to add the air compressor technique.
We'll have to probably blur some stuff out, but
as I said, it sounds a little violent. And
it's
gruesome,
it's pretty gory, but if you don't mind brain matter, I don't. Obviously, I mean, I don't mind doing the job. So.
YouTube might take your videos down.
My teenage daughter's like, I don't know if YouTube will allow that. That's all right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Really sensitive.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of
We could see. We could try it and see. Maybe blur some stuff out. I don't know. We can see.
Right. I can PM it to you, Stuart.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can
There you go.
send
You
you-
might get a private one with that one, maybe.
Yeah.
We're gonna start a Patreon for that.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you make it to where it's not for kids,
Well, I do everything.
Yeah.
Not for kids,
Yeah,
or else
if you-
it's like super censored.
Yeah.
And never
You can't-
shows
you
up
can't-
anywhere.
You can't post anything.
Yeah.
If you're waving around a knife,
Mhm.
you know, which I do all day in the shop, then they're like, no.
Oh, you do it in the
So,
kitchen too.
yeah.
Yeah, we were doing the kitchen segments, and I'm like, Carrie, you're
She's
talking
filming and she's
waving
like,
the knife around, and she's like, "Well, I work with knives all the time. It's fine."
I'm aware of my
Yeah.
surroundings.
Yeah, but it makes me a little nervous. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for jumping on and joining us. Like I said, if you guys find these helpful, think they're fun, maybe we'll get on here and do a couple more. I know literally have bird feathers
It's
flying
snowing.
into my mouth.
It's snowing
The
cockatoo.
cockatoo is like, as I'm talking, it's hard to not laugh at each other
She wants your
as we see feathers flying into our mouths. Anyway, find these helpful, just let us know. And like we said, add your comments, add your criticisms if there's things you want to see more of or wish we would go more in depth with and show a little more of. We are happy to do that. We try to do that when we see a lot of views on a video. We kind of try to repeat, give some new tips and tricks, like I think we did with the flushing wheel and the antler mounting, horn mounting, antler mounting. Anyway, I don't know. So if we see a lot of
African
views,
moose.
If we see something getting a lot of views, we kind of try to hit it again. But like I said, stay tuned for our summer series coming up, the Red Stag, and we're also going to try and get to the bison. Those videos will start around the second, third week in July. So we will be excited to share that with you. We'll probably give some picture or some shorts as some teasers here as we're making content to kind of pique your interest and get you excited about it. But all right. Any last comments?
Not from me.
Okay.
I think we've yacked enough.
I think so. I mean, I think we could sit here and talk forever, but
Probably.
all right. Well, thank you again for joining us. You're going to see me walk over so that I can hit end on the laptop that we have in front of us. But thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.
See you Tuesday after Taxidermy Tuesday.